will now take public comment for items listed on the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. We have public comment for items on the agenda. All of these comments are for item 18A, the Newland Simpson project. First up is Roy Michael, followed by Joe Wood.
Good evening, esteemed colleagues. I am Roy Michael, a 10-year resident of Hemet. Last night, Moreno Valley voted 8-0 against their proposed warehouse project. A lot of clapping. Last Saturday, I attended and filmed the Newland Simpson revised project town hall meeting presented by Greg Lansing, the owner of the land where the Newland Simpson project is proposed to be built. I have posted the video to many Facebook Hemet sites and emailed the video to 2 of the council members. The project still has a giant warehouse with a few small changes of the smaller buildings. So where is the difference? After they made what I thought was a veiled threat to the council last meeting regarding litigation, he issued a new threat at the Saturday meeting. Basically, he stated twice that they would allow the state of California to build a prison or homeless shelter on the property if you guys don't approve it. These kinds of scare tactics and intimidation have no place in the city of Hemet. They have been nothing but smoke and mirrors since they started this project. They don't call it a warehouse project, they call it street repair. Now they're making threats. Please make them go away. We don't do business with these kind of people. Nobody gets to try to intimidate my city council. These men are tough, but don't even think of crossing these women. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bailey. Next speaker is Joe Wood. Following Mr. Wood, Gene Kemp.
Thank you, Madam Mayor and City Council. There's been letters from our attorney that have gone to the council. I hope you've had an opportunity to review all that information. And for the reasons stated in that letter, I urge the council to steadfast on the previous denial of this project, to have a vote today and a motion and a vote to go ahead and deny the entitlements as well, which the landowner feels was inappropriately not included in the denial in the previous council meeting. As Roy mentioned, the landowner using basically threats with the few people that showed up to the town hall meeting, primarily because there was a lack of notification to the community. And so most of the residents there were from Solera Diamond Valley because the word circulated in our community. And that's a shame, because he intentionally, called this town meeting to hopefully sway the council that the city residents are in favor of his revised plan. I don't think that's the case. Trying to tell the people at that meeting that if they don't agree with the plan of the revised plan, that actions with that property would be detrimental to the community if he's not able to put in the warehouse that he wants. There's been very little change to this amended application request from what had previously been voted on, both by the Planning Commission as well as the City Council. In addition, the DRC is considering a review of a proposal of 439 homes, which, if approved for this warehouse, those homes would be directly adjacent to the warehouse that is being proposed. That's totally unacceptable. The warehouse is still 884,760 square feet. Where are the trucks going to park? Where is the traffic going to be mitigated to the extent that would be acceptable? The Newland Simpson project, which now is called the Newland Simpson Road project, which I don't understand, it's still a warehouse project, is going to have the same impacts on our streets, on our environment, and with the proposed future development of adjacent property. is something that I hope that the council will hold fast and make the necessary decisions today to just stop this project in its tracks. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wood. Judge Jean Bienza, is Donna Swanky, are you present? Thank you. James Trexler? Alva Pitt? Okay. Ms. Bienza has been donated time from those three speakers, 12 minutes.
12 minutes, thank you. Hello, everybody. Honorable Mayor, welcome, Connie, to the council. Appreciate all of you here. Boy, have we been through a lot, right? This has been going on. I've had a new shoulder and 2 new knees since this started, so that should give you some idea. Yeah, right? Rock star? Woo.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. So on April 8th, you all know, you declined to certify the EIR. So our attorney said it killed the deal. The council directed the staff and the attorney to make a motion to deny the project and the EIR at the April 22nd meeting. We saw a resolution. From my understanding of certification of the EIR, if you approve it, it triggers certain timeframes. If you deny it, which you did on April 8th, there are no timeframes triggered. You can make a motion today to deny that project, and it would be more than acceptable because the EIR was declined on the 8th of May. During that time, we have the landowner and the developer reached out to us. They came on April 8th, gave a beautiful presentation, showed beautiful building. There was in a single truck at the buildings. A little bit misleading. During that time after you declined it, I received a call from Greg Lansing, the landowner. He wanted us to host a town hall meeting at Solera Diamond Valley. I advised him that we're a closed clubhouse. We could not have it open to the public. I recommended perhaps he could rent space at the city library. There's a conflict of interest there. Within 1 day of that, our general manager of our HOA received an email from the administrative assistant of Mr. Lansing trying to cheat their way into our clubhouse. Wonderful character, speaks to poor character in my opinion. She was telling that our general manager of our clubhouse that she had privileges to use our clubhouse. Apparently she might, and I don't know this, might have been involved in the Pulte development when our development was created. I don't know that answer. I don't know what privileges she was asserting. She didn't have any privileges there. Our general manager approached our board director and shut them down, appropriately. Then Greg apparently found space at the Golden Village RV, sent me a brochure. I posted it to the Solera Diamond Valley Facebook page so that people would know. He had told me they were going to be dropping off brochures to people at different communities. No one ever saw a brochure, except for the one I posted, which I didn't have to do. But I thought it was the right thing to do, to let people hear the landowner come and give his spiel. We've heard changes. We've heard on April 8th, they made all kinds of concessions that the tenant does not agree to. They don't really like the concessions, the new benefits to the community. Now again, they're coming back and making more changes, supposedly. But since the EIR has been declined, it needs to be recirculated via CEQA guidelines. There is no new project until that is recirculated. They can say what they want. They can ask for a renewal today. They can ask for an approval, but there is no project other than the one that was presented on April 8th. The EIR was declined. I don't get it. I mean, if these things were that important to them, why didn't they do this 2 years ago? Why didn't they have a town hall 2 years ago? Are they trying to pull the wool over the city's eyes? I mean, the city council, come on. You're all professionals, we know. Things have to be done properly. Maybe there was a snafu, maybe there wasn't. I can't address that, I won't address that. I'm not an attorney. I will say our attorney has sent you each a letter, and I hope you had the time to review it. It addresses all the things I was just mentioning. And we hope that you will do the only reasonable and logical thing tonight, which is to decline the entitlements applied for. You've already declined to certify the EIR. We ask that you hold tight, you stand firm, that you do not cower to a developer who's been cheating and trying to cheat his way in here consistently. That's been our experience. So again, I thank you for the time.
Good job, Wonder Woman.
Can I go home now?
Yeah.
Thank you. Next speaker is Karen Stepp, followed by last name Malone. I don't know the first name.
Good evening, City Council. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to speak once again. My name is Karen Stepp, and I'm an 11-year citizen here or resident here in Hemet. I did not make the town hall last Saturday. It was a holiday weekend. Everybody was busy. I did not receive my notification or my invite to the town hall until yesterday. It arrived in my mailbox. As far as I can see from what I've heard and what I've read, nothing changes. We still are going to have the increased pollution, the increased truck traffic, the damage to our roads, the damage to our health, the jobs where I see Newland Simpson coming up with no program to address the eventual, and I don't think it will be that far in the future, automation of these warehouses. There is no plan to train the workers to work in this high technology field. There is no plan to apprentice them. What will happen when the robots move in? Will everybody be once again out of a job? I was so proud of what we all accomplished at the April 8th meeting, where we all left feeling that we had denied this project due to mostly the environmental, health, and economic concerns. At this point, I don't see that much has changed. A procedural error was made at that meeting. It was unfortunate. It can be corrected very easily by adopting the resolution tonight to continue to deny the environmental impact report and also add to that the denial of the entitlements. I don't want to repeat what everybody else has said, what we've heard time and time again, but I do want to humbly ask that you stand firm and once again, clearly, unequivocally, deny the Newland Simpson Warehouse project. Thank you.
Thank you. Kathy Carrier, followed by Janet Boyce.
Thank you to the mayor and city council. Welcome to Connie, to our new team here. I would like you to know that I'm in full support of your April 8th vote of 5-0 denying this project. You have been more than generous in allowing the development team to present whatever they were willing to offer to make this an acceptable project for our city. Yet they keep coming up with a day late and an offer short. They still have not addressed the major objections that are identified in the staff report for this meeting and have mentioned by the majority of speakers at these councils. And the objections identified by the crowds in these council meetings. In my opinion, they have primarily ignored the environmental damage we will all experience with the still massive truck traffic and the lack of infrastructure to deal with the traffic, in addition to the negative image created by its location at the city's front door and the beautiful farmland destroyed. On Saturday, I was one of the large number of city residents that showed up at a town hall that I thought was going to be to the entire town. However, it turned out that every single person there was from my community and people that I had known personally. And my one concern about that was we were told that if this does not get passed, that we will probably end up with a prison or a homeless shelter because the state will force us to provide that. And that made me very uncomfortable to think that that was our option if we didn't accept this. So I ask you to vote strong. Stay where you're at. Thank you.
Next speaker is Janet Boyce, followed by Paige Gosnell.
Good evening, Janet Boyce. I'm a resident of Solera Diamond Valley off Warren Road on the west end of Hemet. And I just wanted to make 3 key points. One, the road infrastructure is not prepared for a huge warehouse that would require at least 60 trucks per day. 2, the EIR report has not really been addressed that warns about air pollution in particular. And 3, the primary problem that I see is the location. It's one of the main entrances into the city of Hemet across a bridge that will quickly become obsolete. That's another concern. It's just a 2-way bridge. I don't know how old it is, but it's not a new bridge. You need to vote down this project. Thank you.
Mr. Gosnell,
It's 30 years old.
followed by
Oh, 30 years
Mr.
old.
Tompkins.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. Councilmember Clark, welcome to the dais. Congratulations. Was here on April 22nd, as you'll recall. I was here on April 8th as well. Appreciated your giving us the opportunity on April 22nd to come back today with the hopes initially of presenting our modified project for you. As you'll see from what was submitted in my letter on May 6th, the comments, the concerns that were raised on April 8th, we've taken to heart. We've redesigned the project, significantly reduced the size of the project, notwithstanding the comments from the residents that have come out tonight. The industrial footprint has been reduced by over 40%. This is not a small, minimal, nothing change in the project. This is a significant reduction in the scope of the project, removing an almost 400,000 square foot building that would have abutted Warren Road. If you recall, the comments and the concerns that were raised on April 8th were really kind of twofold, right? It was, this is the entryway into the city. Do we really want that to be a warehouse entry where you've got industrial and industrial on both sides of Warren Bridge? And then also the impacts, right? The significant impacts that an industrial project of that size and scope would bring to the city. There were concerns from the council about that. We've addressed those twofold. We've created, reserving the parcels on the parcel 2 and parcel 3, the trailer lot to the east, parcel 2 immediately abutting Warren Road to the west, to be reserved for future commercial, retail, office development, a diversity of uses, which is exactly what the council told us that you wanted to see at that entryway. It also preserves the larger building, the 800,000 square foot building, because that's the minimum size building that Rialto Pacific needs in order to make that site viable, needs in order to bring jobs and income and infrastructure to the city that we believe the city desperately needs. And as you recall, Madam Mayor, on April 24th, Rialto Pacific was here at the library holding a job fair. We had over 1,000 local residents come out looking for jobs at the Kirby Street warehouse that's soon to come into operation. That's over 3 times the number of jobs that ultimately are going to be available for that facility. There's going to be an additional significant number of jobs that this building, the 800,000, will bring online that will directly benefit local residents who came out, who maybe aren't here tonight. You've got a handful of local residents who have been here from the beginning and frankly are going to be opposed to whatever project gets proposed here. But the ones who you're not hearing, the ones who came out in force on April 24th, are also residents of the city, are residents who want to work local, who want to have high-paying jobs that aren't grocery checkers or other commercial jobs like that, high-paying jobs with upward mobility. You heard from Rialto Pacific's employees, many of whom had been there for 8-10 years, who had started at the bottom and worked their way up. Those are the types of jobs that local residents demand. Those are the type of jobs that this project can provide. We'd love the opportunity to be able to provide those jobs to the city and provide a project that benefits the city in that respect. Very quickly on the resolution with respect to the EIR was proposed on the grounds, or excuse me, was suggested as the project as proposed on April 8th would not be approved by the city. Well, the proposal that we brought back to you The project that we've modified is not that project. It's a 40% smaller project. And so the resolution that was prepared by staff in response to your vote on April 8th is not reflective of the project that we'd like to bring back to you at the next available council meeting. Give you an opportunity to see what this smaller, significantly smaller reduced project can do for the community, what the reduction in impacts will be, and what the benefits are that it'll provide to the city. We'd love that opportunity. We think we deserve that opportunity because you haven't taken a vote on the actual entitlements themselves. And we just would urge you to adopt staff's recommendation, set this matter for a public hearing on the 27th for a consideration of the modified project, and give us that chance to win your approval, and hope you understand that this is a project that the city deserves and we'd love to bring to you.
Thank you, Mr. Gosney.
Thank you.
Mr. Tom Donahue. Followed by Greg Lansing.
Thank you for hearing me out. As Paige went a little long, I'll go a little short. Connie, welcome back. Good to see you again. As you know, from Planning Commission in December, you've heard about the project, and it has changed a lot. I brought a couple handouts just so you guys can see what the revised project looks like. It is a single building now. It is to mirror the Kirby project. And our tenant finds a lot of success in staffing that size warehouse, about 850,000 square feet, with approximately 600 to 800 jobs. So what we've found with the applications and the job fair was Kirby actually doesn't have enough jobs for what Hemet wants. We had more applicants come out than we could have imagined. So about 800 local residents in Hemet and another 250 beyond that are in the surrounding areas, San Jacinto and such. So I will hand these out. It shows that the single warehouse now has about a 700-foot setback from Warren Road. So optically, we put an elevation or a rendering in here to be seen from Dominigoni, so that we're putting this out in front of you that the building will look a little shorter because you're farther away now, and we hope that we're hoping this is the compromise between Hemet needing jobs and not wanting the throat of Warren Road to have industrial on both sides of it. So this sets it back a solid 700 feet. So I'll hand this out. If I could give Mr. Presswich Linda's copy since she's remote, and I appreciate you guys' consideration.
Mr. Greg Lansing.
Good evening, council members, Madam Mayor, Council Member Clark. Congratulations on your new position. Thank you. First of all, I was the one that put on the presentation. I'm the landowner. I did the community outreach. We had 31 people, I believe. I feel that about half the folks were convinced that it's either a reasonable project. Some of them actually came up and told me they really like what we've done with the project. Hopefully most of you have seen the revised project. We'd like to do a more detailed presentation if this is continued. And I think that we've really done everything we can to compromise to make this really a really attractive entry. We have retail on both sides. We have business park. We're hoping to get a hotel. So we've done a lot in that regard. There were folks at the community outreach we did who said, we're not compromising. I said, what's a compromise? We're not compromising. Well, I don't find that to be a reasonable position. We identified only 2 sites in the city that can accommodate this type of use, and the city's rather large. As you know, 98% of the city is residential, so we feel the city does need the jobs, and this is a logical location. Also, you know, one of the residents just now referred to me as kind of the big bad developer, if you will, or I don't remember the exact words, but I've been in this town doing business for 25 years. I actually developed the community they live in. So it's unfortunately ironic and not funny to me, but we actually did the whole master plan. We turned Page Ranch, which was a very bad plan, into a really beautiful plan and probably a highlight for the city. And I own 500 acres around there. and most of it's residential, but I'm not gonna put something in there that's gonna jeopardize the future development of that. So we're very cognizant of what we're doing, we're very thoughtful, we have tremendous landscape buffers, berms, we have commercial buffering that, so there's a lot that's going on, and I'm not sure, one of the gentlemen referred to 459 homes next door. Well, I own most of the property next door, so I'm not sure what he's talking about. It's business park and it's a mixed use zoning, so there's nothing gonna be real close to in terms of residential as far as we know, so. Anyhow, again, these type of projects do pay for services. Residential does not pay for services. Also, you know, business park and industrial will help provide fire and police. As we know, residential is more of a drain. Also, I want to clarify, at no point did I cause a threat to anybody. My point is, I own thousands and thousands of acres all over California and Nevada. The federal government comes to see me about once a year. The state officials come to see me at least twice a year, and they have their wish lists. And their wish lists are things that I don't want on my projects. And that was the point I was making. They need a place for homeless. Homeless have to go somewhere. And now they're spending billions on that. And they've been to us asking them to help them with solutions. Same with the state or the feds. The Fed came to me, I had a big project in San Diego years ago, and the Fed said, we're gonna put a prison on your property. I said, no, and they can take it, they can do it, they override the city, the county, everybody. And fortunately, because of relationships with elected officials, we were able to thwart that. But that was the point in making that there are things that are much worse than creating 1,000 jobs for the local residents. So in any event, we're asking for the continuance and hope to see you in a couple weeks. Thank you very much.
Thanks, sir. Carol Samard. Followed by Diana, let's see, Diana Carvalho, are you here?
She's giving me her time, yeah.
Is she here?
Just giving her a
Okay. And Grisland Turgan, are you here? Okay. 9 minutes.
All right, good evening, everyone. Congratulations to Mrs. Clark for her nomination, and thank you to those who gave me their time, their minutes to speak. So to begin, I would like to recognize the construction workers who are in favor of this project. I completely understand their wish of having big projects like this, one close to home, and to have some kind of assurance of work over a certain period of time. My position about the warehouses has nothing to do with their wish of a better life. I would also like to acknowledge the energy, time, and effort of everyone working on the Newland Simpson project. One can only recognize that it is a huge project. It has been going on for a long time and undoubtedly has already cost a lot of money. Unfortunately, and surely, the applicant knew before embarking on this project that submitting an application for such a project is not a guarantee of approval and may incur expenses that may be lost at the end of the process if the project fails to be approved. For that reason, I was taken aback by the barely veiled threat by the Newland Capital Group Council of possible litigation where the project be denied on April 22nd. I would also like to mention another point. At the April 8th, 2025 City Council meeting, a noise study was presented. During the presentation, and I have the reference if you need to, showing that there was a slide showing that there would be an increase of 2.9 dB at the intersection of Warren and Stetson, and an increase of 2.3 dB at the intersection of Warren and Mustang, and some text. And on that same slide, there was some text, I quote, "While project off-site traffic noise impacts along Warren Avenue were determined to be significant, there would be barely perceptible as they are less than 3 dB. And the presenter commented, and I quote, "I'll note that it was below 3 dB when in the federal and city standards in analyzing those impacts, 3 dB is considered barely perceptible. Anything above 5 is where you do perceive noise changes. So the project itself does not cause perceptible noise changes within this area. But again, because of the Warren Road current noise levels, it was identified as a significant unavoidable noise impact, end quote. When I heard that, I was skeptical. I am not a noise or sound engineer, but I decided to do a bit of research. In addition to the presentation, I looked at the noise impact analysis that was provided in December 2024. I looked at it a little bit. Excuse me. In the report, it is mentioned that this noise level is significant and cannot be mitigated. You might recall that. They cannot mitigate that noise level with walls or sound barriers. I am not a sound engineer, but noise levels follow mathematical formulas, logarithms to be exact. And while it is correct to say that a 3 dB noise is barely perceptible to the human ear, an increase of 3 dB actually means that the noise level is doubled. And a 2.3 dB noise increase, where was I? And a 2.3 dB noise increase corresponds to an increase of 70%. So if we remember the chart that I was talking about earlier, there was a 3 dB increase at Warren and Stetson and 2.3 dB increase at Warren and Mustang. So we're talking about doubling the sound level or increasing it by 70% mathematically, and not an imperceptible sound. So after understanding this, I decided to share my understanding to inform City Council in case you have to make decisions on future projects involving noise increase. In conclusion, I see a few things that we are unsure of in this project. I am unsure of the benefits. I am unsure of the jobs that it will provide. Will they be jobs for Hemet residents? How long will those jobs be available for with robotization and AI happening more and more? I am unsure about the new commercial part of the amended project that you may not have seen. I think you just received a handout about it. I've seen it Saturday at the presentation. So I'm unsure about that new commercial part. I'm one who liked the commercial part of the project, still don't like the warehouse part of it, but I'm unsure about it because when we bought our house in 2014, we were told that a commercial and housing development at Florida and Warren would be built, and that never happened. So I have the same worry about this new proposal. What guarantees that this new commercial development will become reality? On the counterpart, there are a few things that we can be sure of. I am sure that pollution will increase if we go forward with mega warehouses. I am sure that the noise level will increase. I wonder who will want to come and live in Hemet. I wonder if Hemet will be able to maintain its streets. No matter how much money developers give to the community, no amount will be useful if we are sick with asthma, COPD, cancer, or other illnesses. Money can't compensate for that. I am opposed to the Newland-Simpson warehouse project and any and all mega warehouse projects in Hemet. Mega warehouse projects will never be acceptable in Hemet, in my opinion, and I hope that you will vote to deny this project tonight and other future mega warehouses projects which want to come to Hemet. Thank you all for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Connie Coronado.
Very good.
Followed by Terry Leonard.
Good evening. I wasn't going to share tonight, but here we are. I guess I'm understanding what I remember on April 8th is a denial, period, flat out. Environmental impact report, all the decisions were no. So here we are back on the agenda. My question, and I'm just throwing this out, on Thursday, Project B, going before the Development Review Committee, has 439 houses going in on Simpson Road. Did you guys know that? Yeah. So how are we doing that? How are we putting a warehouse up in the same spot as 439 houses? I thought we had a general plan to decide what goes where. The 439 single-family homes is on 94 acres, and it is east of California Road, north of Olive Road, south of Simpson Road, and west of Hugo Road. So somebody needs to make some decisions fast. In all fairness to the developers, I mean, the right thing to do, I guess, since they're making changes, is to send it back to the Planning Commission. Then we can all fight with the Planning Commission. And then here we are again. So I hope it's a straight out denial until some things can be decided, especially the general plan, to determine if that's gonna be residential, stay agricultural, or become multi-use. Thank you.
Terry, Dr. Terry, we have Jim Lindberger.
Jim. Hi, Jim.
No, I'm Terry.
Okay.
Jim's back there.
There we go.
Well, hello, council and Councilwoman Clark. How you doing, neighbor? Today I'm just here to talk about the kids fishing tournament that we have coming up on the 31st of this month. It's going to be held at the Golden Era Golf Course, and they've got some great lakes, 3 great lakes over there. Well, not great lakes, but they're good-sized lakes, and they're stocked with fish. We got our grand prize as 4 tickets to SeaWorld, and we got a whole bunch of other prizes for the kids. And this is all free for the kids. They get there about 7 o'clock in the morning. We have food, breakfast for them. We've got lunch for them later. We've got the Boy Scouts will be there with their inflatable area. I forget what it's called, but it's
Bouncy house.
it's no, it's a target practice where they can get the pellet guns out and they can shoot there. They've been there in the past, and it was a big hit. We got the state game and wildlife and game, I guess it's called. They'll be there. If you bring your driver's license there, you can get fishing poles and tackle for the kids who don't have one. So that'll all be taken care of. We've got 2,500 worms, last chance bait and tackle. So we got all kinds of great stuff for the kids. A lot of great prizes and a lot of fun. We've got some great photographers, I understand. And we've got, let's see, and it's for boys and girls from the age of 6 to 15. We had cut it off at 15 because at 16 you need a fishing license. So this way we keep it under 16, so only up to 15. This is put on by the businesses here in town, in Hemet and in San Jacinto. This is a joint effort. This is a great effort. We've been doing this for quite a few years. We're always looking for some volunteers on that day, so if you know of anybody that would like to volunteer, have them contact the Greater San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, because we could always use some extra volunteers. And the kids are going to have a great time. Like I say, it's all free for the kids. Thank you.